Hello everyone, my name is Bethany and this is my channel Thani's Thoughts. Today I'm doing a book tag. I decided I'm going to do the Unpopular Opinions book tag, which I've seen go around BookTube a few different times. I'm like low-key nervous to do this book tag because I feel like unpopular opinions are like so scandalous and like they're so like, oh, you didn't like that thing, but I love that thing, and yeah, and it's so conflicting. Anyway, either I'm gonna get all the followers from this or I'm gonna lose all my followers from this, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out. The first question is a popular book or series you didn't like. Two answers. I'm going to say a popular book and then I'm going to say a popular series. So the popular book that I did not like was 13 Reasons Why. I think it's beautifully written. I'm not going to lie. But, gosh, it's such a trash book. Like, I remember listening to it. I listened on audiobook. This was a few years ago. And I remember just thinking, why did anyone think this is a good book to write? Like, it's about suicide and she's telling her story from the grave, but like in a really like, I mean, obviously like there's mental health issues at play, but she just blames everyone else for her own choices, and there's something really gross about that. She's a troubled young woman, and obviously some of the things that some of these guys did to her was truly, truly awful, especially the counselor. Man, that whole part really, really pissed me off. But it's kind of a trash book. Did not like it. I will have never watched the Netflix series because it looks terrible. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about 13 Reasons Why. The popular series that I don't like is Thorn of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I know, I feel like that's so controversial because there's so many people who love her. I will say I read the first book. Again, on audio. Several people have told me, no, you need to read like book 2 and 3, and then like it gets really good. But I tell you, good sir, that I shouldn't have to read more books in the series for it to get good. It should hook me book 1, and it should be great by book 1. Not book 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever number she's on now. It should be good. And no, book 1 was trash. It was terrible. I did not like it at all. I thought there was really good elements to it. I thought the characters would be really interesting if the characters had actual depth to them. It was just very obvious that it was her first written work and needed more editing and just needed help, and it was just not great. I haven't read Court of Thorns and Roses, but I've read part of it and I liked it a lot better, so maybe that's a series for me, and I'm just going to leave Throne of Glass alone. Like, maybe I'll try again, maybe, but as of now, I am not going to read the rest of that series. Now, question number 2, a popular book or series that everyone seems to like but you love. I did a review of this book when I first started my channel several months ago, which is The Betrothed by Kira Cass. Man, that book's gotten so much hate. A lot of people don't like that book. I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, I think there was like some bits and pieces and things that could have been developed a little bit better, but I had no issues with the book. Not what people are saying about it. There's been a lot of hate for it. There's been a few people that have loved it, but definitely the majority have been people who strongly dislike, which is really disappointing because I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's the book that I can think of that everyone seems to be hating on lately. And I have my review. I linked up in the cards, and you can see for yourself. Question 3 is about a love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you did not want them to end up with, or a OTP that you don't like. So here's the thing. Love triangles are my least favorite trope. I do not like love triangles. Ugh. I always guess who she's going to end up with. I always guess who the person's going to be. I always guess it. It's never like, oh, I didn't know she was going to pick that person. No, I always know who she's going to pick, and it's obvious to me. But I always like usually the other person. Usually love triangles are 2 guys and a girl, right? That's majority of love triangles that I've read in my lifetime. And so the girl always usually picks the guy that I predict that she's going to end up with. That seems obvious to me from the beginning. And no matter if there's another love interest that's added to it, it's always going to be the other guy. It's always going to be. But I usually always like the other guy better. But I also know and don't want her to hook up with the other guy. I want her to hook up with the main guy that she's supposed to. So anyways, I don't read a lot of love triangles. The one that I can think of that I a popular book series of a popular love triangle that I can think of is Team Jacob. When I remember reading them, I remember being Team Jacob. That was my thing. Vampires are gross. The end. I don't like love triangles in general, but also Team Jacob is the only one I can think of. But again, I also knew Bella was going to end up with Edward. She was never going to pick Jacob, ever. There you have it. A popular book or genre that you hardly reach for. For me, that would be vampire romances, as I've mentioned on my channel a couple different times, are not my fave. Thrillers, horror, I'm such a wimp. I can't handle any of those, like horror stuff especially. Like, I do not like being scared. October is not going to be a fun month for me because there's like a ton of like horror readathons, but I'm not going to read any of them. Mysteries are okay. I don't usually reach for them, but when I read them, I don't mind them. Especially if there's like a romance component attached to it, then I kind of usually can get into it. What I don't like is mystery series. One of the things that I think of when I think of the series is the Stephanie Plum series, and I'm so sorry to my bestie who might be watching this, who might see me talk about this, but mystery series that have love interests, or two love interests, where it just goes on and on and on and on. No, if there's a mystery romance, I want it wrapped up in like a couple books, not drag on and on and on for 28 books. That's nonsense. And that's really the reason why I stopped with the Stephanie Plum series at like book 6. I was over it. I didn't care about the mysteries anymore. I just wanted the two people that I wanted to get together. The end. So there you go. Popular book series that I don't reach for, and a genre that I don't typically read. A popular or beloved character that you do not like. There's rarely a popular character that I don't like. I mean, I think the ones I don't like are usually ones that are pretty hated. I know a character that everyone loved was Sirius Black, and I just didn't think he was that great. The third Harry Potter book was my favorite, but Sirius, I don't know, he just wasn't that great. I know a lot of people really liked his character, and I like Dumbledore better. The other character, I don't know, popular or beloved character that I don't like is Holden Caulfield from Catcher in the Rye. There's probably more people that don't like him than I think, but I know he's a popular book, and he's definitely a popular character from it, and a lot of people really like him from a certain generation, and also mostly men. I feel like more people that I've met that have not liked his character has been mostly women, so I think that says something. A popular author that you can't seem to get into. Sarah Dessen. She writes a lot of YA contemporary romances, and I've read a couple of her books, and I just didn't really get into them. I feel like I need to try her again because it's been several years since I've read her, but I don't know, there was something missing for me from her books. And yeah, I just wasn't a big fan of her writing style or her characters. I don't know what it is about them, but yeah, I've read a couple of her books and did not like, and I haven't read anything else, but I know she's really popular and quite a few people recommend her, so I feel like I want to try her again, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about her style that just doesn't do it for me. The other popular author that I can't seem to get into would be Cassandra Clare. Now, Cassandra Clare has a lot of problematic things about her that I don't think some book Twitter and booktube people know, but not a whole heck of a lot. Just that she, her issue with plagiarism, which is a big issue in the book community, her issues with fandoms, how she's treated her fans has been very poorly done. I found out those things while I was in the middle of reading the Mortal Instrument series, and I read the Mortal Instrument series, I finished the series, and have yet to have picked up another book of hers. I know a lot of people rave about some of the other books in her Shadowhunter series that are like interconnected and everything, but also knowing that about her, and also I also felt that the Mortal Instrument series wasn't that great. Like, I read it, but only because like I just really wanted to make sure Jace and Clary were not brother and sister. And that was the only reason I read it, which isn't a good enough reason to read a book series, I guess, but there you have it. That was my reasoning. And then knowing those things makes her even harder to read, especially because I didn't really like her writing in Mortal Instrument series anyway, even though I liked some of her characters, but then just learning more about her is, not really interested in reading anything else by her. So there you have it. I know she's super popular, but yeah, I think I'm done. I'm okay not checking out another book of hers, another series. A popular book trope that you're tired of seeing. Love triangles, obviously. Love triangles being a big thing. I just don't like love triangles. They're just like least favorite. YA romance is very typically the love triangle thing happens a lot. I feel like feel like love triangles were really popular in the 90s. I've read a lot of love triangles in the 90s and early 2000s. Since then, don't think I've read nearly as many, or maybe just because I'm avoiding those books. Could be that too, but yeah, love triangles, definitely not my favorite. The other trope is that you see very often in romance, and I just raved and ranted about this on Twitter the other day. It is about accidental pregnancies. So accidental pregnancies are super triggering for me because of my own personal issues and own personal things that have happened to me. With the amount of women's issues such as miscarriage and infertility, I feel like accidental pregnancies just should not be used as often as it is in romance. And if it is used, it shouldn't be like a surprise accidental pregnancy. It should be a content warning accidental pregnancy that this is going to be in the book. Period. Yeah, it's my least favorite trope, especially because it's triggering. Do not like. In the way that we've come a long way in romance with consent, we should come a long way with accidental pregnancies not being a reason for people having to get together. The next question is a popular series that you have no interest in reading. That would be 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Is that her name? I don't even know what her name is. I was a little bit low-key interested for like a fanfic smutty version of Twilight. Like I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. I think when No first came out, and then learning more about how it misrepresents BDSM, more learning about how the writing is absolutely terrible, makes me so glad that I never picked it up. I was like low-key interested, and then the more I learned about it, I was like, no, we're not doing that. I'm not going there. So that is not a book series I will ever be picking up. Ever. If you want a really good book that started out as a Twilight fanfic, then definitely read Beautiful Bastard. Totally worth it. And still as steamy and sexy, and yes, better than 50 Shades of Grey, by far, I am sure. The last question is, the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than a book? I have a hard time with this question because I usually always try to read the book first before watching the movie. But sometimes when I watch the movie first, I end up liking the movie better just because if there might be things about the book that annoyed me. So yeah, I try to always read the book first and then watch the movie because that's how the adaptation goes, and it's better to get a way to get an idea of what the adaptation process looks like. Sometimes that doesn't always happen. Something that I did watch before I read If I Stay by Gail Forman. I don't know. I think I just liked Abigail. I think Abigail's the main actress from it. I just liked her portrayal of that character really well, and I thought she did a really good job. But in the book, her character really annoys me. Big time. I just found her really obnoxious, and I liked her character a lot better in the movie. So yeah, but again, I watched the movie first before I read the book, which I think always just kind of influences how you view the movie if you see the movie first. Something that I read though before I watched the movie is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I still really enjoyed the book. I still really liked the book. But I will say I think I liked the movie Netflix adaptation just a little bit more. I find Peter kind of charming, but also a little bit unlikable. But I think in the movie, the actor who plays him, Noah, I think his name is Noah, is just super sweet and super charming. And I just think he makes Peter much more likable than he actually is in the book. So I still really, really like the book. I just kind of like the movie, like, just a little bit more. But we won't go into the second movie. We won't go there. So that's it for the Unpopular Opinions book tag. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully I don't get judged too harshly on my choices. I would love to know some other people's opinions, unpopular bookish opinion. So if you comment one down below, I would love to see, and I will definitely respond back. If you want to see more from me, then please subscribe and hit bells and hit likes, please. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye!